Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at something that's always kind of intrigued me. Switzerland. Tiny country, landlocked, not many resources.
But consistently one of the wealthiest places on Earth. It's a real puzzle.
Exactly. And according to our source for this Deep Ducks, Gunther Max's book, The Zurich Axioms, the answer is pretty wild. They're basically the world's smartest investors and, well, gamblers.
Speculators, gamblers, investors. Max argues it's how they thrive. So if you're listening and thinking about how to handle financial risks, well, this one's definitely for you. We're talking about how to bet to win.
This isn't some stuffy old textbook. Max calls them axioms, these 12 major and 16 minor rules. But they came from these informal chats. Swiss financiers hanging out on Wall Street after the war. His own father was one of them.
Right, these plungers, as he calls them, bold guys. And what's really interesting is these axioms, they're not just for stocks. Max says they apply anytime you risk money hoping to get more back.
So they're kind of like life rules almost, guideposts for dealing with risk generally.
Pretty much. Which brings us to the first big idea, and it's a bit of a head-scratcher. Axiom 1, embrace worry.
Wait, embrace worry. It says, worry is not a sickness but a sign of health. If you're not worried, you are not risking enough. That feels wrong, doesn't it? Most people want zero worry, absolute safety.
Totally. But the book argues that chasing total safety often means you just stagnate. Financially, anyway. There's this great story from Gerald Loeb about sober Sylvia versus Mad Mary.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about that.
Well, Sylvia played it super safe, savings accounts, bonds, but inflation and some bad bond luck just eroded her capital. She ended up poor.
Okay. And Mad Mary.
Mary took calculated risks, got some bloody noses early on, sure, made mistakes, but she learned. She speculated like buying gold low, say $40, $50 an ounce, and selling way higher, like $600. She built real wealth.
Wow. So the lesson is, avoiding risk is a risk. Let me think about that phrase, investment grade.
Exactly. Max basically says all investment is speculation. Calling IBM investment grade back in '73 didn't make it safe. It peaked and then took, 9 years just to get back to that price?
9 years. So much for safe. It really drives home that point. Okay, so if we accept risk is necessary, what's the next big idea?
Well, it tackles maybe the biggest human hurdle. Greed, axiom 2. Always take your profit too soon.
Ooh, too soon. That grates against every instinct, right?
Yeah.
Leaving potential money on the table.
It really does. But think about it. That casino manager, Sherlock Feldman, he had this great line, if they wanted less, they'd go home with more.
Love that.
So true.
He talked about this roulette player. Won big, hundreds, then thousands, but just kept pushing out of greed.
And lost it all.
Everything. Including the original money she started with. It happens outside casinos, too, like Alice and Harry with their house.
The real estate story?
Yeah. Their house value tripled. Huge profit. But they got greedy, thought maybe it'll go up 10 times, so they held on.
Let me guess. Market crashed. Yep.
Then
profits vanished. They learned the hard way. Sell too soon. The point is, you never know where the absolute peak is.
Right. You can't see the top.
So you conquer that fear of regret. What if it goes higher by just taking the win when you have it? Consistently, banking profits, even small ones, builds wealth long term.
Okay, that makes sense. Risk is okay, greed is bad, sell early. What's the third major takeaway?
This one's about how we think the world works. Axiom 5. Chaos is not dangerous until it begins to look orderly.
So the world of money is chaotic because people are chaotic.
Pretty much. Human behavior drives it, and that's fundamentally unpredictable. So any patterns you think you see, any formulas for success, they're usually illusions and dangerous ones.
Like trying to predict the market based on past performance.
Exactly. Think of Irving Fisher, that distinguished Yale economics professor, brilliant guy, lost a fortune in the '29 crash because he believed the market had reached a permanently high plateau. He saw order where there was just chaos building up.
And it's why even the pros, like mutual fund managers with all their research, they can't consistently beat the market average, right?
Precisely. There's no magic formula. So you have to watch out for things like the historian's trap, thinking history repeats perfectly, or the gambler's fallacy.
That's when you feel like you're hot or on a lucky streak.
Yeah, that feeling. It's dangerous because it makes you think luck is skill, or that there's a pattern. Remember the stories of people breaking the bank at Monte Carlo? Charles Wells, Caroline Otero.
They ended up broke, didn't they?
Died broke, luck runs out. Confusing it with a predictable system is a recipe for disaster.
So pulling it all together, these Zurich Axioms, they're not about crystal balls or finding some secret system.
Not at all. It's more about understanding how people tick, including yourself.
Mhm.
and having the courage to engage with a world that is, at its core, unpredictable.
The Swiss figured out their path by facing risk head-on and really dissecting human behavior.
Uh-huh. So maybe the challenge for you listening right now is to think, w- what belief do you hold about money or safety or control that maybe you need to question? What needs reevaluating before you can really start your own financial adventure?